I remember being in my apartment in Harlem, New York in the 90s, and I just watched this bad Chris Rock movie where he played this worker who was cheating on his wife and he was trying to chase this woman around. And in one scene, his boss pulls him aside and says, "Look, if you keep chasing women like I see you doing, you're going to start losing money." He said, "But if you chase money, you're never going to lose women." Now, I know that line is not a spiritual line, but something inside of me clicked. And I thought, I've been spending an inordinate amount of time chasing comfort, convenience, and the conventional idea of success. And I thought to myself, what happens if I start chasing my inner guidance as a means of securing all the other resources that I think that I need in my life for my path and purpose? So literally right there in my kitchen, I made a decision to start following my heart relentlessly, which means if it tells me to speak up, I'm going to speak up. When it tells me to take a leap of faith, I'm going to take a leap of faith. If it tells me to move to a different country, I'll move to a different country. And at the time, I've been reading these spiritual books, but I was still very much living in my head. And I realized that I had to put into practice what I had been reading. And so that was a way to sort of commit myself to practicing following the inner guidance instead of just talking about it all the time. And when I look back, I see that every time I took a leap of faith, every time I bet on myself, it always worked out for the best. And that wasn't necessarily obvious in the moment, but in hindsight, I can look back and say, oh, that was absolutely for the best. And that decision shifted everything in me because it inspired me to leave the work that I was doing at the time, which was in the fashion industry, and to start exploring what I was truly passionate about, which was in the world of yoga and meditation and consciousness. And remember, this was the 1990s. There wasn't some booming wellness scene at the time. There were no roadmaps. You had to experiment, but that's what made it beautiful. It was a true exploration. And I'm not a woo-woo type of person. I know my name is Light and it sounds like I'm some airy-fairy type of dude, but I'm actually quite normal and grounded. And I just became deeply curious about what happens when you live from the inner guidance. That's going to allow you to tune in to what your heart has been trying to nudge you towards this whole time. Because here's the thing, that voice doesn't go away if you just ignore it. It'll keep whispering. It'll keep nudging you. You can't drown it out. It'll come to you in the day. It'll haunt you at night. And the only way to quiet that inner voice, in my experience, is to follow it.